Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 21 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand. It is a quieter schedule than usual because it is the winter break. That means we've got 5 fixtures this weekend and 5 fixtures next weekend, kicking off with the Friday night game tonight, which is going to be a big one at the bottom of the table between Burnley and Luton. So there's just 8 press conferences happening today for the fixtures that are taking place over Saturday and Sunday. We've already heard from Eddie Howe and Erik ten Hag earlier today, and I'm going to be covering in the next hour or so 6 press conferences. We've got Chelsea and Spurs coming up right now at 1 o'clock, and then at 1:30 we've got Everton, Fulham and Man City. That will give us the crucial update on how far off Erling Haaland is. Wasn't spotted in training yesterday as reported on Sky, wasn't with the squad in the FA Cup last weekend either. So we need some encouraging signs. I think most people are now looking to game week 22, though, for Haaland, with that deadline not coming for another 2.5 weeks because of this truncated game week and then another FA Cup weekend before the midweek fixture. So there's lots to cover. I'm sure there's lots of dilemmas as well. So do come and say hello in the live chat. The poll is up as well. Make sure you've liked the stream and subscribe to the channel. We're going for 100 likes to start with. I've just realised I've not actually put a new message in the chat. I know I did say hello earlier, but it's good to have one pinned, so I'll drop that in now as well. Best laid plans and all that. And as well, I'm going to have a look at what I'm thinking in terms of my team. I haven't made my transfers yet. Still flexible, but I think I'm probably going to stick to the plan that I shared on my team selection video yesterday. Nice to see some new faces in the chat as well. This is my regular slot on a Friday at 1 o'clock. Been a weird few weeks with obviously the busy festive schedule, but hopefully back to normal and everyone's back to their normal weekly routines. We'll see a few more people in once again. So this is my team as it stands. I've got 2 frees, but I'm planning on being quite conservative this week, benching Trent, Son and Salah, because I'm conscious that by the game week 22 deadline, which is in 2.5 weeks' time, we'll have a lot more information. My planned move is Livramento out for a Estupidant, but we will see what comes of today's press conferences. I already had a little moan in the chat earlier of how cold it is today, and everyone's jumped in to tell me how nice and warm it is where they are, which I'm very jealous about. We've got VJ and Simon in modding, which is great to see. What did VJ say? Oh, afternoon or from a windswept Watford. Gazman is watching while at work. Light rays in a sunny Sydney near midnight, still 23 degrees. Gary in Tenerife, 23 degrees as well. Some bold captain calls already in the chat as well from Nickel and Riley. Michael is in. Timothy in from a very hot afternoon in Nigeria. Al Zarab, a new member to the channel. Thank you, Alizab. I'm going to have to learn how to say your name, aren't I? Greetings from Washington, D.C. Good to see you. Abod is in, as is Mohammed, Nam, Dafarsha, Nelson, Robert, Harmony, Richard and Russell. So good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining. So as I said, we're expecting to hear from Chelsea and Spurs in the next few minutes. The tweet deck is up and live, so we'll see what's going on over there. It looks like the Wolves away on some warm weather training. It looks like it. Obviously, they play next week. Not sure where exactly. I'm just making sure that whilst I've been doing the intro, I haven't missed anything important on the tweet deck. I think we're okay at the moment. Obviously, the transfer window's open as well, which is just going to add to the chaos. We normally get a tweet from Spurs about 1 o'clock with their press conference details. Some of it is embargoed. So we may need to wait a few minutes to actually get all the firm information. Hopefully we'll get a little video. But yeah, Pep's presser coming in at 1:30, so in about 30 minutes time. And we've got Fofana on his way to Burnley. Almost signed for Chelsea, ended up at Burnley. Wow. What a story. I think I know where I'd rather be. So while we're waiting for the current press conference news to come in, let's have a look at what we've got already. Give this a refresh. So we've already heard from Ten Hag this morning that Casemiro, Martinez and Shaw are in contention to play against Spurs. Now, this came as a bit of a surprise because in Ten Hag's presser the other day, he said that we wouldn't see Casemiro for a few weeks. We have more choice in the moment in the squad and create a stronger bench. So it's good to see players coming back. I think Onana might be available before going after AFCON. We haven't had firm news from Chelsea, but we've got the traditional leak from Nizar Kinsella that Chilwell, Chukwuemeka and Badiashile are all in full team training. Nkunku is still out apparently. So Chilwell gunning for making the squad, which would be good to see him back, definitely. Killerat is in, good to see you, mate. Update from Eddie Howe this morning. I don't know why everything's loading so weird today. Why can't I click on it? Am I going mad? If I press show more, it shows over there. Okay. So the update on Joe Linton, missing for a minimum of 6 weeks. So that is a big loss for Newcastle. He's such a key player for them. Solanke was missed out in last weekend in the FA Cup from precaution after a knock against Spurs, but he's expected to be absolutely fine. So if anyone was worried about that. Carlton Morris is in contention for Luton. This is quite interesting. Vincent Kompany, I've seen quite a few people asking for Taylor news. Company's press conference was yesterday, and he said that he was advised to say nothing about injuries, so we have no update on Charlie Taylor. Their game is the first one after the deadline tonight, so we could get leaks on the deadline stream later. The link to the deadline stream is in the chat, by the way, so that you can notify for that one. And then, yeah, Sky Sports at the City training ground reported no Haaland or Grealish or Akanji on the grass. And we know that Paqueta's out for 4 weeks for West Ham. Jared Bowen, we've not really had a clear kind of timeline for him, a few weeks. So I think he'll miss 21, but he could be back for 22. And Trent as well on the sidelines for a few weeks, which isn't that helpful in terms of helping us know when he will be back. Now, I've seen quite a lot of people asking in the chat for like a Bowen update, things like that. We're going to get information for these first 5 fixtures, yeah? But when we get on to these 5 fixtures, Arsenal, Palace, Brentford, Forest, Sheffield United, West Ham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Brighton, Wolves, they aren't until next weekend. We've got this split game week for the winter break. So we're not going to get that info. So you're kind of playing blind, and this is why I want a captain from the sides that are playing this weekend, which is why I've gone Palmer over Saka. But the captain poll is live, so it'd be interesting to get your thoughts as well. I'm still in the cup, by the way. Anyone else still in the cup? Let me know in the chat. I'm playing against Wang Hee Chang. Oh, Wang Hee changed name. Is that a pun there? An active team. Ranked at 500,000. See how many issues they've got. Same 3 players out. Gosh, that's a very similar team to mine. They've got Solanke and Foden. I've got Watkins and Archer. I think my defence is potentially a little bit stronger. We'll see. Yeah, so that's what we've got there. Let's see if we've had anything through from these 1 o'clock presses. Pochettino has arrived, so hopefully we'll get some updates soon. So I'll leave this open while we're waiting for news to filter through. I will try and answer some of your questions as well. So drop them in the chat. Nickel is going Nunes captain and R. Kelly's going Isaac, which I both think are quite bold. Michael's really tempted by Tony from the off. He mentions that Brentford are depleted. I don't think that helps though. Someone needs to give Tony some service, don't they? Right, Pocher said that Chilwell and Badiashile are in the squad for the match against Fulham. That's confirmed then. Give that one a bookmark. That's good to know. By the way, guys, there's over 300 of you in, which is brilliant. We're not quite up to 100 likes, though. So help me out. Chukwuemeka needs assessing. Chilwell and Badiashile will be in the team for sure. Does that mean that they're going to start? Be interesting if they do. Surely they can't come straight in. Let's see what happens. No, we'll be involved in the squad for tomorrow. Nkunku hasn't trained for 10 days and Poch is worried about the situation. He only came back for like a game. And it felt like he was going to be back. He was coming back for ages and he wasn't there. Chucked him in and now he's can't train again. Our body's on Foden cap. Mohammed said, what are the chances of Bowen to start? I mean, I think it's very slim, but we're too far away at the moment. Nam says, why is no one captain in Alvarez? Newcastle United are good at home. I know they've been pretty woeful in recent games, but you're still expecting them to deliver at home. Nelson has got the wildcard chip active. Bold moves. Mohammed says, what are the chances of Neto to start? Again, they play next weekend, so really I've got no idea. Was he pictured? Is that that's Neto, isn't it? Is it? I mean, so I guess that's encouraging if it is Neto. Tell me if you think it is or not. Christopher with winning the temperature at the moment at minus 13.9. Palmer captain. Trell Medesiat says, Ivan Toney best captain this week. I think that is possibly a stretch too far because we just do not know his match fitness for the demands of the Premier League after such a long spell out. He may need just a little bit of time to bed back in. Marcus with a bold Areola captain. Can't say I love that pick. I'm guessing you're joking. Mr. F minus 20 here in Altario. Well, you win. Sammy says Salah to Saka. Yeah, I think if you've not got Saka or Palmer this week, they're the easy replacements for Salah or Son if you're looking at selling them. Is there a Grimsby in Ontario, Mr. F? And is it any better than the Grimsby here? let me know. But we've made it to 100 likes, guys. Thank you. Everyone doing their bit. Keep subbing to the channel as well. On the road to 30k subs. I will get there eventually. A little later than I'd have liked, but we're making progress. Chantel is in from Barbados. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. And Emmanuel says, I love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you. Carmax going Archie captain. Are these captain suggestions serious? Amma says keep Salah or sell. I think if you can't get 11 out this week, then sell him. But I just want a little bit more information, which is why I'm going to hold on to him for another week. I feel like we'll know so much more in Game Week 22, sorry. Someone said Fofana made the right decision. Yeah, this is Arsenal right now in sunnier climes as well. I think we may see some better performances from these clubs that have got their kind of warm weather training this week. Louis says start Edison or Areola. I think it's got to be Areola, hasn't it? Let's have a look at the predicted points for goalkeepers for this week. Yeah, Edison on 3.7. Predicted points. Areola also on 3.7. It's a coin toss. Oh gosh, what is going on with me today? Coin toss. Both away from home. Obviously, Edison the better keeper, Areola the better fixture and form, to be fair. Killer at buying Tony. Would expect nothing less from you, mate. Ben says, well, Cole will start. I should imagine so. Let's have a look at predicted lineups. Let's have a look at Burnley. Game day decision. Probably more chronic than acute. Yeah, it's not looking great for Taylor then. Yeah, Colwell in Ben's prediction. Adam says, is it worth taking an 8-point hit rather than wildcard? 5 players unavailable? Yeah, absolutely. That wildcard is so valuable. Like, if you play it now, this isn't the week to play it. 2.5 weeks' time, we'll have so much more information. This is a game week of survival, in my opinion. Get 11 players out and just try and hit an okay score. Mr. F on a wild card. Have Haaland on bench. Garnacho worth a bench punt. I don't think you can go punty on a wild card. Tony or João Pedro. I think personal preference there. I do find Tony appealing. I wouldn't take a punt on Garnacho, I don't think. The fixtures are there and nice. But if it doesn't work out, I guess you just need an exit strategy if you fancy it. Because if it doesn't work out, where are you going to next? Beardy is in. Good to see you. Killerat likes Gross but likes Foden more. I would just worry about De Bruyne. Killerat says, more nervous about Palmer captain this week than I was last. Might go Saka. Interesting. I just feel like Arsenal's form has been... And now you're going Tony. Arsenal's form, I just don't trust it. They've just looked lacklustre. Saka's underlying numbers have been good, but it's just that clinical finishing that they've missed. Bowen is invincible, killer at police. Yeah, you can have hope, can't you? I don't think he's in Ben's predicted lineup. Two to 3 weeks out. I don't know whether anyone's put any time frame on Trent. A few weeks. Let's see what Ben's put on Premier injuries actually on that. Because he'll know kind of the natural return to play schedule for an injury like that. Interestingly, Killer, I think Tony's got a pretty good record against Forest. That's interesting. So Ben has put... Sorry, I've just knocked my mic. Hopefully I've not lost the volume. Potential return date as the 30th. So he fancies Trent to be back for then. And he fancies Bowen, same game week, the 1st. Who else was looking at? Charlie Taylor. Yeah, I think it does not look great for Charlie Taylor, I'll be honest. Potentially going to miss 3. And I think that's why company probably dodged the questions in the presser. Have we had anything from Spurs yet? Ben Davis, Lo Celso and Dane Scarlett will all miss Sunday's trip to United. So that's the update there by the looks of things. Obviously a few absentees as well with Son, Sarr and Basuma all on international duty. I think United will be pretty happy looking at that. Registry, any updates on Kufal? Well, looks like Kufal might be okay. Yeah, so coming up, we've got these press conferences, haven't we? So we've heard a bit from Chelsea and Spurs, and then it's 1:30, Everton, Fulham, and the big one, Man City. So we are going to be keeping a close eye on those. Question now on Gabriel Jesus. There's a lot. We're not going to get firm info on any of these because obviously they don't play until next week. That's why there's so much guesswork involved, should we say. We're getting up to 150 likes on the stream now, which is great to see. Right, Jesus. Could be back. Don't know, has Ben put him in his predicted lineup? You've got to take this with a pinch of salt, though, because a lot could happen. Still waiting for the outcome of the scan, so I don't think we saw him on those pictures. Yeah, no change in Spurs' long-term injury absentees by the looks of things. Kenneth fancying João Pedro captain. That's quite a bold move as well, but I guess he's in form. He's on pens. He's got a nice fixture on paper. Sorry, my mic's all over the place. Quite a few of you still in the cup. Well done. Saipaz is on Captain Jota. Interesting. Pep's press conference coming up in 5 minutes then, guys. Someone in the chat saying, is Bowen injured? Have you been living under a rock? We don't know. Basically, we don't know on Bowen. I doubt he plays this week. Hopefully, he'll be back for 22. Tendai, similar strategy to me, thinking of waiting to pull the trigger on Son and Salah and instead bringing Stupin for Lascelles and go for it at the back. I'm doing the same. Is Gusto a doubt? No. Yeah, no. Gusto's on the right, yeah? So, yeah, not a threat. Killer Rat says Jesus was seen in training. Oh, that's good done. Danielle, should I get Saka, Richarlison and fodder for Son, Salah and Kudos for a hit? What's the fodder? Or is it Foden? Do you mean Foden? If it's Foden, then that's... Can you... I don't think I'd buy Richarlison this week. Can you just do Saka and Foden for free? Bench the other. Mede says, is Bowen a sell if everything in my team is fine? I think roll. If you can roll, then roll. Lots wondering on Haaland. We'll get news on Haaland in hopefully 5 minutes if Pep's on time for his presser. Will Shaw, can you make an argument for not bringing in Saka this week? I mean, if you look at the predicted points, I think he's top. I've not been that impressed with Arsenal's form or Saka's form of late. However, you look at Saka's underlying numbers for the last 4 game weeks and they've been pretty good. So, and I think this is why he's doing well in terms of the AI predictions. Palace have no clean sheets in 8, I think. If you look at the underlying numbers for game week 17 through 20, Saka is top for shots with 18. He's top for big chances with 4. He's 5th for key passes with 11. So the return should be there. He's underperformed. Oh, it's Kilman, apparently. Tom Sopady Bacon. There's a mouthful. Odegaard as captain. Or maybe stick with Saka, yeah. If you remember the reverse of this fixture, Arsenal won 1-0, a late penalty, and that was the penalty that it was Odegaard's first penalty that he took off Saka. Ollie, Son and Salah to Jota and Foden for free. Next week, Solanke to Haaland. Yeah, if you freed up the funds, that sounds okay. Shah, Gross, Jota. I think I'd lean towards Gross, you know. Retep. Should I take a -4? Lascelles to Estepinian. Have Taylor, who has to play if not. Yeah, I think the hit's justified in that situation to get the 11 out. Mohammed's asking for the best option in or under 6 mil, but doesn't specify what position. So I'm going to say a Stupinan for a defender, Palmer for a mid, and a forward, Jimenez. Let's go Jimenez as a rogue pick. So you didn't state a position. Let's try and get the stream up to 200 likes. And make sure you subbed as well. So we're expecting Pep's presser at any moment. And this is going to give us some clues as to when Haaland will be back. Now, every time Pep's had a presser for the last month, he's ruled Haaland out for like the next game, but has said that he could have a chance for the game following that. So it'll be interesting to see what he says now. Is he being clear with us? Obviously, Haaland's his star man. So I can see why he'd be looking to maybe protect any bad news. But kind of, we've been strung along for a while now. I don't think Pep is in for his presser just yet, but it is meant to be happening now. So I think the fact that he wasn't in training yesterday means that he should be ruled out. Haaland not fit, Grealish unwell, back today, Stones out. So there's hope that Grealish will be back, but no Haaland. Now that is a worry. Like, when is Haaland going to be back? I best actually update the graphic, because I know that's what we're here for the Haaland update. You see, that's going to change a lot of people's perspectives. Like, there are still some managers that didn't sell Haaland that are stuck again with a player that's not going to play. Surely someone's got to ask Pep what is going on. Oh, Nigel has come up with a Happy New Year here, Holly and viewers. 5 months as a member, where did the time go? Here's to an awesome 2024. Yeah, best wishes, Nigel, to you and the family. When is Haaland going to be back then? This is the thing, because we've been strung along. Haaland is out. When is he back? Like, when... We're a month on now, aren't we? When did he last play? I feel like it was early December, wasn't it? Villa, game week 15. Was it that game he got injured in, or was it another? I forget now. Yeah, it was really early December. Interesting. Surely someone's got to ask Pep now what is going on. Simon, I'm one of those still with Haaland commiserations. Shocking, really. Yeah, and Nkunku is out injured. Yeah, I've heard that. Like, Pep was so insistent that it wasn't a fracture. But, like, what is going on with him? Surely you'd know it was a fracture because he wouldn't be bearing weight on it. All the Alvarez owners will be rubbing their hands together now. Surely someone's asking Pep, like, when is he back? Because it's starting to get concerning now, isn't it? You do often get this, though, with players that you just get strung along like this, and what seemed to be something that was like a week ends up being a month, but then how long is it going to go on for? Is he going to be back for the Burnley game? Because, you know, with no Salah and no Son, like, captaincy is becoming a bit more difficult, isn't it? My computer's on an absolute go slow now. I'm trying to update this graphic. Yeah, there's a predicted Burnley lineup going around that doesn't have any Charlie Taylor on. And I think the way he said chronic, not acute. Kevin De Bruyne could start for City against Newcastle. So that's one good thing for City. I don't even know if that bookmarked now. Yeah, it did. Harrison Reed is okay for Fulham. Doubt that's of much interest to people. I wish I'd watched Pep's presser now. No comments on fixture scheduling from Pep. Obviously, we're still waiting for that Brentford fixture to slot in at some point. And it sounds like City are off to Abu Dhabi for their winter break after this one. Like, how long is Pep going to string us along for with this? I mean, I'm not too concerned because I don't have Haaland. But I do want to find a route back. What is going on here with the stream now? I've done something wrong, haven't I? Definitely broken it. But surely someone's asking him what the situation is, like when he's going to be back. I just don't understand it. FPL Nim is in, said hey. FPL is just so confusing at times. Like, why is this game so difficult? Like, why is Pep not being asked when he's going to be back? I can't remember when City... You see, when is... I'm just checking when City's fixture is. It's on the Wednesday night game. Obviously, they've got to play in the cup, haven't they? I don't know when we're going to get this news on Haaland. That's my worry. So we've got a bit of time, haven't we? They've got the FA Cup game. So that's on the 26th. So that could give us some clues. You'd hope. There we go. I've fixed the graphics now. Interestingly, the fixture that City missed due to the Club World Cup against Brentford is now falling later into the February schedule. I can't remember if there's a free midweek around there or something. But City will have to double at some point to get that fixture back in. Obviously, with their Champions League involvement still there, have to take the opportunities when they come. Right, let's see what else is going on, because we did have a couple of other pressers going on. There's been more comments coming through from Postecoglou, but I don't think there's anything too significant for our FPL teams. Well, surely it's a go-to question if you're a journalist in a press conference to ask, when is Haaland going to be back? There will be embargoed quotes from this presser. That'll probably come out at 10:30. Will Shaw, stress fractures in a foot can take over a year to fully heal. Yeah, we said it wasn't a fracture. People will have bought Haaland back already. This is why we say don't make early transfers. Just ask the 750,000. 420,000 managers have bought Haaland back in this week. Haaland's been bought by more managers than sold. Juicebox UK says no point in asking Pep will lie always is. Yeah, I get that, but he has been quite honest with us, as in he knows he's going to be out for a while. Just doesn't help with forward planning, does it? I don't think we're going to get anything more from him, to be fair. It looks like Romero has a chance of returning for Spurs against United, which would be a big boost. Like, United should be favourites at home given the amount of players that Spurs are missing for one reason or another, but they've just been really disappointed in recent games that you just can't rely on them. Looks like Pep's presser is still going, but I should imagine anything juicy will be embargoed. Killer Rat says, oh, is he confirmed out now? Yeah. He said Erling is out. Tricky. Do we think De Bruyne starts then? That'd be interesting. And Martin's still predicting Spurs to hammer United. Fair. KG, I fear we don't see Haaland again this season. I hope it's not as bad as that. New Spurs signing Dragusin, 4.5 million defender. That's just dropped. So we have heard from Pep then. We've heard from Pochettino. We've heard from Postecoglou. I've not seen anything from Sean Dyche at Everton. I've not seen anything. Oh, we've seen Fulham and City. And Villa's coming up at 2:00. So in about 15 minutes. There are a few things still coming through from Pep's presser. Akanji is clear after picking up a knock. Oh, here we go. Sean Dyche is in now. Hopeful Decore will be fit. Dwight McNeil is unlikely to feature, but has a chance for our next fixture. He looked like he was properly injured when he went off the other day. Obviously not as bad as was feared. I wonder what Ben's prognosis is on his website for Haaland. Yeah, it's not been updated yet. What about on the predicted lineups? Honestly, this game week is just a nightmare to prep for. I mean, at this point, if you've held Haaland, what do you do? I mean, you probably sat here watching. How can I help you with that? How long can you keep holding on to him before getting rid? I guess you have to give it this 2.5 weeks, don't you? The trouble is now, just looking at City's fixtures again. So they've got Haaland's out of the Newcastle game. Then they've got 2 full weeks until this Friday night FA Cup game away at Spurs. I can't see Haaland starting that game. But does he then start for Burnley at home? And then it's Brentford away. Who knows? Honestly, this game is so difficult. It really is. Like, why has no one asked him how long he's going to be out for now? I guess they've just decided there's no point. They've given up. It's just, it can leave you a bit inflexible, always keeping that route back open for Haaland to come back. Lottie says, surely 1 more week hold because of the 2-week break. I hate Pep. Oh. Yeah, it's not great, is it? That's the big news then. At least we've got the news. FPL Harry is in. Says hello, hello. FPL Harry, now don't answer me this. Don't you normally have like a tick next to your name? I can't remember actually. Alvarez to Gameweek 38, love it. Let me know, Harry, how full-time FPL is going and what your plans are for the next 2 weeks. I think I'm planning on hibernating a little bit, I think. I mean, I was pretty quiet in the last couple of weeks as well, but you know, the last December was busy, so you know, you gotta relax when you can. That's what I think. We've still got the Villa press conference, and then we're going to be at the stage where we've kind of got every bit of information that we're going to get. But it is a nightmare week to prep for because of the fact that we've got those 5 games that are next weekend that we've not got any presses for. So that's Arsenal, Palace, Brentford, Forest, Sheffield United, West Ham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Brighton and Wolves. And I think, let me get this right, Forest, West Ham, Wolves. Was there another team? Everton? Oh no, Everton were, but quite a few of those teams have got FA Cup 3rd round replays as well. So, it is tough. Apparently you need 100k for that. Are you not there yet, Harry? Everyone go give Harry a follow. He needs to get to 100k to get his tick in the chat. You can't be far off now, Harry, surely. FPL Nim says, this is a mess. Not sure if I should sell Salah now or just sit him on my bench. That's what I'm doing. I feel like I thought that this was just like a sensible strategy, but I feel like I'm going rogue in the fact that I'm not making loads of moves this week. So I'm planning on Livramento to Estupinan. And then I'm going to bench Trent, Son and Salah. Now, Trent could be back for 22. I think this strategy is getting stronger now that Haaland is still out. Because say South Korea or Egypt got knocked out of the group stage of the Asia Cup or the African Cup of Nations, they could be back for 22. We'll also know by 22 what teams blank in 26. Maybe if any of those games have been rearranged to double in 25. We'll also know what blank game week 29 is starting to look like and which teams are in or not. Interestingly, the captain poll is really split at the moment. 38% Saka, 38% Palmer, 8% Watkins, and 15% other. Killerat says, I really want a Estupinan. Get him then. Have you already made moves? Most people have got bigger fires elsewhere, haven't they? It's just going to be one of them weeks. I'm just trying to survive it. There's still people in the chat telling me how sunny it is where they are, and it's just cold, miserable winter here. I'll be back later, by the way, for the deadline stream. I'll be back at 5. So have a little break and then be back with you. So if you want to join me for the deadline stream, I think the link is in the description to the video, but I'll also drop it in the chat. So if you hit the notify button, that'll let you know when I'm live. I just feel really bad for Haaland owners. It's like, what do you do with that information? Looks like Pep's presser is still ongoing. Still no one seems to have asked him the golden question. Yeah, Everton have got some key players returning back to the squad, so they need a bit of a bolster. They've had a tough few weeks after that hot spell following the points deduction. I think they're still appealing that, though, as well. VJ says, can we get the stream up to 400 likes? Well, let's aim for 250 first. There's 700 of you in, so should be able to get it done. We need the Villa press conference to be kind now, else I think that will finish most people off if we get bad news from that one. Oh, Haaland. I never keep going on about it, but I just feel like there's more to it. Like, how many more weeks can it rumble on? Seriously. Shall I put a poll up? When do you think Haaland will be back? I'll have to send the captain poll though, won't I? We'll do another captain poll later. When do you think Haaland will be back? So we've got game week 22. I mean, then I guess the good thing for City is that their game week 23 fixture is the last fixture of the game week. I'm going to say the options are a bit tedious here, really. I've put, when do you think Haaland will be back? 22, 23, March or later. Naldi says, will Haaland play? No, he's out for this game week. Rohit says, any chance Mubama starts? That'd be good for a few benches, wouldn't it? Do people still have Mubama? I mean, I think you look at the players that West Ham have got available. There's Ings, though. I think West Ham wanted to let go of Ings in the window, but I don't know whether they can afford to now. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Oh, well. It'll just have to be a spelling mistake. Everyone knows what I mean. Please don't spam the chat, guys. Most people think he'll be back for 22 or 23. Surely he's got to be. You just never know, do you? This has just been such a tough season of FPL. I feel like we're only at the halfway stage. From a time perspective, we're a bit over halfway from a game week perspective. Not much, though. What is going on, eh? So we're expecting the Villa press conference anytime soon. Neil, member, is in. Good to see you, Neil. Happy New Year to you as well. Am I being sensible, not wildcarding and taking a hit? Yes. Do not wildcard this week. I have 5 flags, none of which are likely to play. 1 free transfer, 0.44 in the bank. Son, Salah, Trent, Taylor and Maguire are all out. So you need to bring in a defender. Stupinan's the one. It's going to mean selling Trent, which is a shame. But you need to get 3 defenders out. Because Taylor and Maguire are both like 4, aren't they? So you're not going to get up to a Stupinan. Is there any other defenders you could buy? We're kind of looking in that under 4, aren't we? Yeah. The selection isn't great. Like, Stupinan's way above a lot of those cheaper options. And a Newcastle defender isn't going to appeal. At least a Stupinan you can have hope for this week. So I think you get in a Stupinan for Trent. Unless, I guess you could sell. So you need to sell 2, don't you? Because you can bench. You could bench Trent and Salah, sell Son, sell Taylor, and get in a Stupinan and a Foden, maybe? Well, you could get anyone, any midfielder you fancy. If you've got a Palmer and Saka already, then you've kind of got a bit of a choice of where you go next. But that would work. So I think it's okay. But yeah, don't use the wild card. Naldi forgot to play the wild card and took a -40. If that's for this week, it's not too late to press it. But if it was for another week, unlucky. I think, I don't know, it's difficult, this De Bruyne Foden situation. I think it's still okay while Haaland's out, but, you know, it's coming round to be a problem. That's why I'm not interested in Foden. That's one of the big reasons why in my team I've not sold Son or Salah yet, because I don't really know who I want to get in. Let's have a look then at everything that we've got so far while we're waiting for the Villa presser. So there's a few players returning for Everton to training, and Decore will be fit for Villa. Silva, Phillips and Akanji are back in for City. Romero has got a chance for Spurs. Harrison Reed should be fine for Fulham. De Bruyne could start against Newcastle, but Haaland isn't fit. Stones is out as well. Grealish has been ill, but Pep thinks he should be back. At Chelsea, Chilwell, Badiashile will be involved. Chukwuemeka needs an assessment, but Nkunku hasn't trained for 10 days. Unavailable players mounting up for Spurs. Davis, Celso and Scarlett are the latest absentees. We've got a number of players returning for United. Casemiro, Martinez, Shaw, Anthony, Ericsson. Joe Linton out for 6 weeks for Newcastle. I think someone was asking about Luton news. That was the latest update from there. And then, yeah, the rest of the stuff is kind of just for the ones that don't play this weekend. So Trent out for a few weeks. Bowen out for a few weeks. Paqueta out for 4 weeks. Is a few less than 4? That's the question. Killer, who should I bench out of Dunk, Porro or Solanke? Dunk. Harmony says Haaland's dad doesn't have him in his FPL team. Enough news in that. I think from what I saw for 20, I think some relatives or acquaintances of Haaland had brought him back in. Neil says, my mids are Palmer, Saka, Gordon. So I was thinking Eze, Neto, Richarlison, Garnacho or Foden. Yeah, maybe Foden then. Yeah, Foden and a Estupiñán in. Martin says Casemiro is back. Wow, yeah. It was meant to be weeks the other day, and now he's... I mean, I think the language was he could be back, so there's no guarantees it'll be a starter. He's in contention, let's say. So, have we got any updates from Aston Villa? Because that is... Obviously, the games that are tonight... We had the pressers for yesterday, but the Villa presser is the last one for today. I've just flicked water in my eye. Or on my glasses anyway. So I'm out of practice, guys. It's been like 2 weeks since I've done a stream and I'm just trying to break everything. I don't think we're expecting anything, touch wood, too... exciting in the Villa press conference. I guess Pau Torres. Do people still own Torres? Torres and Tielemans were the ones that are kind of on the way back. So whether we get an update from Emery on those, hopefully no fresh news. We definitely do not want that. What Ben, this is the predicted lineup for Villa, and what Ben has said in the notes is that Pau Torres, managing an ongoing problem, expected to make the squad, potentially not ready to start. And Tielemans should be close, so we'll see if we get anything from Villa. Sometimes, if I'm right, the Villa website's quicker. So I might just load up the website, see if anything's going on there. Because sometimes it's 2 for the pressers. Sometimes it's 2:30. Doesn't look like anything's going on at the moment, though, I'll be honest. Sometimes we get some updates from, is it FPL Villain? Oh no, it's just Villain. Yeah, nothing clear on there about when that press is going. Oh, here's Jesus, look. Oh, this is interesting. This is what... Is that today? Are we today? Brentford confirmed that their rearranged match v City would go into game week 25, giving both teams a double. The webpage just seems still taken down. Hopefully it'll be official soon. So that's Tuesday the 20th. So is that confirmation then? I bet we get that. I bet we get like an update at like 4 o'clock or 4:30. So we're expecting a double game week. Hang on. Oh gosh, I'm getting in bother here. Tuesday the 20th of February, 7:45. There we go then. That's a good thing to know. So that's basically confirmed but not confirmed. I probably ought to add that to the graphic as well then, hadn't I? So that could affect some planning then. So Haaland is out. And then we've got double game week 25 for Man City and Brentford. Oh, it was a nice nugget to get on stream. I wasn't expecting. Oh. Hopefully Haaland will be back for that then. Right, let me just export this so that you get that on screen as well. Hopefully without breaking it. So City to play Chelsea at home and Brentford at home. It's not a bad pair of fixtures, is it? Brentford, Liverpool at home and City away. So unless Tony starts to come into form, it's unlikely we're going to want City, Brentford players, but maybe Tony's worth a punt. So it's interesting, that one. And what else I was getting to is that there's a video of Gabriel Jesus in training, in this warm weather training for Arsenal. Which is promising after seeing him out. So Wolves are in Abu Dhabi. Where are Arsenal? Somewhere similar? Probably. So double game week 25 confirmed indirectly. So I think these are the weeks where we get... is it a Champions League midweek, but not there midweek? We get the split weeks for Champions League. Yeah, so City play in the first midweek. and not the second. And then I think Liverpool could get their game slotting in that same midweek. They could get a double game week with Brentford and Luton. If Liverpool get to the League Cup final, this game here against Luton would be postponed, but it could move into the midweek preceding that. If I'm right. So there's lots going on there. Who are we going to want, though? Is Haaland even going to be back for double game week 25? So I think there's a bit of a pause for the in Europa League knockouts stages, the playoff bit, before the last 32. Which is why Liverpool have also got a free midweek. Is it next season that Champions League changes? I know this news isn't confirmed, but I'm pretty sure it'll be true. Maybe I should add a question mark to it. It's just, I bet you there was a planned announcement. I actually bet, and the Premier League have done this before, which I thought was really naughty. There'll be a proper announcement of double game week 25 on after the deadline tonight. The last time the Premier League did this, I'd asked them why. I think there was a load of double game week fixtures to be announced, and they announced them. Managers were waiting and wondering what moves to make, having not known when the rearranged fixtures were, and they dropped them just after the deadline. Like on the deadline, it was a 6 o'clock deadline, and they announced fixtures at 6 o'clock. And that was to do with the excuse they gave was something about say that all global players, any global players wouldn't have an unfair advantage if they gave the news an hour before the deadline, but if you didn't have that information, you'd be at a disadvantage. It wasn't great. Oh, did they? I didn't know that, Simon. Pragsan, rumours of Haaland going to Real Madrid. VJ, I have heard those rumours. What? Surely not. Oh, gosh. I mean, it's just a rumour. It's all going on. This is the thing, though, that makes this time of year so difficult. We've got the winter break. We've got all these international tournaments. We've got a load of high-profile injuries. And the transfer window's open. Like, it just makes it impossible to prepare. We can attempt to. I think Tony could be an option for that double game week 25. I think... Let's just have a look at Brentford's fixtures. See, and Burmo's not going to be back. Brentford will then play City twice in February. But I'm pretty sure... Tony's got a good record against City. From what I can remember. I think it was the last game before the World Cup break last season. Did they beat City? I think they were at home. Have a look. 2-2. Oh no, he scored a brace away at City in game week 16 of last season. So I think he can be an option. But yeah, I don't think we need to worry about the fact that that article was up and then got taken down. It will have been drafted and it should have been going out at an embargo time, and someone's just messed up and hit the button early and then have realised and taken it down. I'm not sure we're getting anything from Villa. Could be later, but there's nothing at the moment. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave this one here, and then obviously I'll on tonight's deadline stream, which is pinned, I'll go through all the information again. But the big news is that Haaland is out. And we've got a potential double game week 25. Most of you seem to think Haaland will be back game week 23, which certainly will help in terms of captaincy when we get to that double game week. But yeah, triple City for that one will be the way if it's Chelsea at home and Brentford at home. Hopefully Haaland, if he's back and fit and everything. Thank you for joining me there, guys. Make sure that you've liked the stream, subscribe to the channel as well, and join me back here probably in about 3 hours' time, just under 3 hours' time, for the deadline stream. It is a Friday night. Don't miss it. Thank you so much to all the premium members in the chat and to the mods as well. Thank you for watching.